The Pressure to Succeed by Amber Coulter. Have you ever walked into a high school and feel a stress in the air? You can sense the crowded, noisy hallways, or tests being taken in silent classrooms, in the faces of sleep-deprived students everywhere in the building. The pressure to succeed has become such a normal part of high school that no one ever questions it. But should students carry this pressure every single day? Even though being goal-oriented and educated is very important, we need to remind ourselves that every person has worth and dignity beyond their grades. The Catholic social teaching of dignity of the human person guides us to remember that students should never be represented by their academic success, but by their values, purpose, and character. Academic pressure is so overwhelming that students are sacrificing their mental health in pursuit of success. A student's worth should never be defined by marks on a report card. Many high school students are experiencing negative effects on their mental health because of academic expectations. They often do not get enough sleep so they can complete assignments, study for tests, and keep up with their workload. In Canada, the average student gets 6.5 to 7.5 hours of sleep per night, while experts recommend teenagers to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Although these statistics are concerning, this is what many students' sleeping habits look like. Getting a very minimal amount of sleep affects the way students perform academically, ability to focus, stay motivated, and cope with the pressure of achieving good grades. Our education system has unintentionally made an environment where students want to learn, but instead feel pressured to simply earn high marks. This mindset has become very common among high school students, and it demonstrates that there needs to be a healthier way to succeed. Academic pressure goes beyond just affecting a child's mental health. They also cause many students to question their self-worth. When a student feels they continuously need to earn the highest of grades to even consider themselves successful, they often start to believe that their value as a human being relies on marks on a sheet of paper. One low mark can make a student question if they're not good enough. Instead of viewing these mistakes as a chance to learn, they see it as proof they failed. Unironically, this pressure has the opposite effect, creating an even harder environment for students to perform and focus academically. This goes against the Catholic social teaching of dignity of a human person, which teaches that every person has God-given worth and dignity. A student's value should never be defined by their grades. While academic success is important, it should never compromise a student's mental health. Imagine walking into a high school and seeing students who are excited and willing to learn, rather than relentlessly stressing over upcoming tests and assignments. A place where seeking help is a strength and not a weakness, and mistakes are seen as opportunities to grow instead of being a reason for students to think they are a failure. Parents, teachers, and students all have the ability to create this kind of safe environment. Parents can reassure their child that they are loved regardless of their grades. Teachers can create a safe place where students are supported for their progress instead of being expected to be perfect. And students should support one another rather than compare themselves to each other. When we focus on shifting from perfection to growth, students gain more motivation, confidence, and the willingness to learn. Every high school student deserves to leave school feeling proud of what they've learned, never questioning whether or not they are enough. Education should build students up, not break them down. The pressure to succeed has evolved into such a normal part of present-day high schools that many of them forget about the influence it has upon students. Although grades are significant because it reflects a child's efforts, understanding, and dedication, they must never determine a person's value. The Catholic social teaching of dignity of the human person helps us remember that every student has worth beyond how they perform academically. Parents, teachers, and students all have the responsibilities in creating a safe school environment where success is encouraged while balancing mental health and well-being. A report card illustrates what a student has learned, but it never shows their kindness, their creativity, or their potential. Because at the end of the day, students are not defined by a number on a page. They must be recognized by the persons they are becoming. Thank you for listening.